Hey guys, so today we have this, and we have this. So starting with the green one since we're here. It's a Craftsman, equipped with a 6.5 horsepower Tecumseh Eager 1. With key start, but I don't think there's going to be any kind of starting with this one. And then we have this one. It's a Toro Super Recycler, powered by a Briggs Quantum 5.5 horsepower engine. And I don't think this one starts either, even though apparently it also has key start. No idea. Found this one last year and found this one earlier, a couple weeks ago actually, when there wasn't all this snow all over the ground. This is crazy. In fact, just a few days ago, it was 16 degrees. Don't worry guys, I'll have it pop up here in Americanese. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to diagnose this one, make a list of the parts we need, then we're going to diagnose this one and make a list of the parts we need for this one. This way I can show you a more involved process in what goes on in actually diagnosing one of these crazy units. Right, so let's crack into it. Hey guys, before we get into the video, if this is the type of content you like, give it a thumbs up, and also consider hitting the subscribe button below. Anyway, let's get on with the repair. Well guys, we got to this part, and unfortunately the GoPro, the SD card was dead. If you saw my community post, here we are. As you can see, the machine's already in pieces. Doing a video on diagnosing this machine and that machine. Needless to say, I'd gone through diagnosing this, and I even had a list of all the stuff that we were going to need. Absolutely needs a new air filter. This one's trash. Fuel, well, there's a lot of water in that tank, so it needs a carb job. Oil, well, there wasn't any, so we added some. And honestly, it was full. I don't know where the oil went, but it was full. And now, it's not full at all. I don't know where the oil went. I don't see it on the ground here. So, I honestly have no clue where the oil went on this machine. I did put some in, and now it's not registering the dipstick. Anyway, this part, no idea what that is. Comment below. I'd love to know what this part's for. As you can see, this does have battery start. There's the wires for the battery, there's the key start, and there's the bottom of the key, and there's the charging unit. But there's no battery. Still don't know what that is. Spark plug, had a Champion spark plug, which is fine, but the plug was kind of fouled, so we replaced it with an NGK, and we tried it. Checked for spark, yes there's spark. No, there's no fire. I don't know why. So I'm thinking we'll have to try for compression. I did pull the cap to see if the flywheel key was sheared. It's not. Flywheel key is fine. And rope wise, well, it pulls the engine over, and it does feel like there's compression, but I'll pop a drill on there and we'll fire it up for sure and absolutely see, is there 100% compression that will be able to start this machine or not? That is a really, really good question. So that's basically it in a nutshell. That's kind of where we are now. I got everything all set, written down what this was going to need. Obviously, it's going to need a cleaning. Going to need an oil change, going to need a carb job, going to need an air filter, going to need the rope replaced, needs the transmission speed fixed because it pops out. There's a metal tab that needs to be bent down. But the good news is for it, let's move this out of the way. Let's try that again. That cable was stuck. It wouldn't adjust the transmission at all, so we removed it, sprayed it with some peanut butter blaster, and sure enough, we have transmission working. That's a good sign. The cover for the belt, that's that right there. So yeah, this machine, it should run, provided there's compression, and if not, then I guess we'll just change it to a unit that has, or well, we'll change the engine to one that has compression. I have a Honda that would fit this quite nicely, actually. But other than that, I'm not sure what else there is really to do with this other than carb job, air filter, and find out what's going on with the spark system because for some weird reason, it won't start. Although I have a feeling we should check for compression. So I need to locate my drill And before this video is done, we'll check for compression and see how that is. But in a nutshell, this machine should run. It should run. We'll see. I did try it. Tried pulling it over with carb spray and nothing. It has spark. It just doesn't have fire. Why? I don't know. So let's move it off to the side and we'll take a look at that Tecumseh unit on that Craftsman. And it doesn't look good. Right, now to check this Craftsman unit. It's not looking good. I mean, I did check the air filter. There it is. I mean, I've never seen this. I've never seen an air filter this bad. That is insane. Anybody ever seen an air filter get this bad? So that really doesn't bode well for this unit whatsoever. And as you can see, there's still snow. There's snow on the unit. Why? We're in the second week of April. There shouldn't be snow on the ground. That's not cool. Well, it's beyond cool. It's freezing cold. Primer, rock hard. Rock hard. Oil, completely dry. That's not a good sign. Fuel. Oh my. You see that? That's a solid block of ice in there. There's a solid block of ice instead of gasoline. That's not a good thing to see. A solid block of ice in the fuel tank. Yeah, I think this thing's dead, man. I think this one's dead. Like, I don't even know if there's really any point to going any further on that. The air filter looks like it was completely ignored. The oil, what oil? The gas is a block of ice. I guess, let's try. I don't have much faith. Oh, the bail cable works. Something worked. And, oh. So, yeah. I don't have hope for this one at all. I don't know what's up with these wheels. Like, that's like there's screws in it. There's screws in the wheels. Like, what is that? Why is there screws? Holy cow, this thing is toast. Completely, utterly toast. Nice. It's not often you find a unit this miserably left and it's not often you find a unit that's this bad. Is there battery? No battery. Well, doesn't seem so bad as far as rust wise. I mean, the body's not terrible. I think, yeah, rust hole there, minor, and it looks like start of one there, minor. But that's it. So if it's just an engine problem, not bad. We shouldn't have too much of an issue with that. If the engine's just shot, we'll replace the engine. I think I have a Tecumseh engine that would fit this thing. In fact, I have a Tecumseh engine that used to be on a tiller that would fit this one really well. Ideas. Does the self-propel at least work? No. The self-propel arm is frozen. So I guess the cable's shot. Well, I guess this machine's just good for parts, at least the engine-wise. So stay tuned. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell, because we're going to pull apart this engine and find out what went wrong with it. And if it's still good, then we'll try to fix it and get it running. Because why not? If it's a good engine, let's make it a proper good engine. But I don't think so. There's no oil. And it just does not seem like it was well cared for. Let's do a quick dirty compression test. There. Quick and dirty compression test. What is that sound? Oh, that must be the pull recoil, because I hear it popping on top. But I don't feel any resistance at all. This engine's toast. No compression, nothing. Maybe it's a hung valve. Maybe it's just a hung valve. Maybe that's why. Or maybe the piston's not moving, which means that we've got a broken rod if the piston's not moving. So when we can test that, we'll pull the plug and we'll see if the piston moves. Alright, so let's pull this plug. This came out easy. See how bad this plug is. If I can get it out, Jesus. I'm seeing rust on the plug. Other than that, it looks like it was running nice. I mean, it's got a brown strap, so that's what you want to see. This was running properly at one point. So I see a valve wide open there. But maybe it's just wide open. So let's see. Does the piston move? I don't know. Piston moves. Valve's open. Valve closes. Let's see. Exhaust valve opens and closes. Okay, so the valves are opening and closing. The piston's moving. There might be hope for this engine yet. Okay, so the plot thickens. Definitely got to pull this engine apart and see what's going on. Maybe we can save it. That'd be nice. Maybe we can save it. Or this thing's just completely shot internally. Like, it ran with no oil and the bearings got too hot on the crank. And yeah, maybe she's toast that way. But we won't know until we open it up and look internally. That's the only way we're going to find out. Right. So let's pop the plug back in. There. Good enough. Interesting. Well, the plot thickens on this. It is possible that maybe this engine is savable. So we'll see. Maybe it just needs a valve job or it needs a new head gasket or something. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so let's replace that with the Toro and we'll do a compression test on the Toro and maybe that one's okay. Then I can start working on that Toro. That would work. That would work. Right, so there is a little bit of potential here. There is a little bit of potential here. So let's replace that with the Toro, and then we'll do a compression test on the Toro and go from there. But yeah, I think that's it for about this video after I do the compression test on the Toro. And then the next video that I get into it, we'll take a look at that Toro and see if we can get her going. And then in future videos, we'll see if we can get this one going. And hopefully we can even get that engine running. Right. So let's get that Toro up here and we'll do a compression test on it. Right, so before we get to the compression test on this thing, here's the information we have on it. Let me go somewhere a little bit less bright. So this is not so hard in your eyes. So it's hard in mine. Right, so we have the Toro Super Recycler. Yes, it's a Toro Super Recycler. powered by a Briggs GTS 5. Yes, it is a GTS 5, which is a 5.5 horsepower engine. Look at that. So, it needs an oil filter. It has no oil, although we did give it oil. So, put a little asterisk on that. No self-propel, but this we fixed because it is working. Water and fuel tank, so it needs carb work. So yeah, and then we also need to add won't start. And this part I'm going to be writing because honestly, I've done the compression test. I know what the compression is. So I'm going to write it here. So this will tell you what the compression is of that engine. And that should say whether this works or doesn't work. Because we know it has spark, because I tested it, it has spark. And I've given it fuel because I spray the carb spray into the intake, but it doesn't start. So maybe it will with the drill. So we've tried with carb spray by pulling it, and it didn't start. So when we do the compression test, we'll see if it starts with the drill and carb spray, because you never know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Now back here we have the Craftsman. So let's write this down. A Tecumseh 6.5 horsepower Eager 1. And the prognosis of this is
dead. D-E-D. Dead.
that terrible writing. Dead.
Dead. D-E-D. Dead.
No compression. So that's that one dead.
Dead. D-E-D. Dead.
And that was a big one. And then we have that one. So let's get the compression test started. Right, so I guess the only thing left to do is a compression test. But I want to try something first. I'm going to put a bit of oil more. I'm going to put a little bit more oil in. Then I'm going to spray it, and then I'm going to use this to try to start it. So let's try that. Compression tester and some oil. So let's move this off, just whatever, off to the side. And right, the oil. So let's add some more in. Do not overfill. Kind of hard to overfill when it's not even showing up on the dipstick. We'll give it a sec to drain down. Well, it says that we're full now, which is good. And we'll give it a whirl. 15/16. And now to get this thing in. We need a 1/2-inch adapter. pin this off. Just do it the same way I always do. Now, see how well it'll spin first. We're in hammer mode. Okay, so it seems to spin okay. So let's give it some sauce. Hopefully it starts up okay. Let's get in a better position. Oops. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe the spark's not hot enough. Let's even confirm about the spark. Oh, right, that's the smaller one. Forgot. Got to open it up anyway to do a compression test. 3/4. Yeah, it's wet with fuel. Carb spray. Right, so let's see. How is spark on this thing? Now I'll be able to see it. Last time we did this, I had to get my helper. Not like it mattered because that entire bit of footage got cut out. Seems like pretty good spark. I don't know if you could see it. I'm going to hold the camera a bit closer. Give me a second. You know what? Let me give it to you in slow motion. So, let's see. And, oh right, I gotta put it in slow motion. One sec. Oh, I actually didn't put it in slow motion. Shoot. Do that again. Apparently we have to do it one more time. So let's make sure we got it. There. And there we go, we got our slow motion shot. Okay, so now we can test for compression. I guess I could have tested for compression while it was sparking. Oops. Okay, let's see what we get. This is probably going to be why it won't start. How much do you want to bet? This is the reason why it won't start. Yeah, this will be the reason it won't start. That's not the reason it won't start. That's decent compression. This should start. This should start. So maybe it's just simply not hot enough spark. Maybe that's the problem. It's just not hot enough spark. Alright. As I said, I was going to give it a compression test before the end of the video. And there's a compression test before the end of the video. But if you want to know whether we're going to get this engine running or not, well, you're going to have to wait for the full repair video where we actually do tear into this engine and try to get it running. So make sure that you subscribe below and hit that notification bell so you know when my future videos are released. And the videos such as the one in the future where I'm going to be repairing this one is also released. Make sure you subscribe below, and I'll see you all in the next video.